my sewing friends. Here are my thoughts on McCalls 7972, a Laura Ashley pattern. I'm Jen, and this is right outside my sewing room in my very echoey living room. And it's echoey because I have solid surface flooring, and it's just echoey, high ceilings. And I wanted to give you my thoughts on this pattern. This is McCalls 7972. It is a Laura Ashley pattern, and I have huge love for Laura Ashley. I really adore the designs, the femininity, just all of it. I even have a video about my love for Laura Ashley, my collection of patterns, some of the vintage things that I have of hers. So yeah, love Laura Ashley. I loved this design because I loved the flounces. I loved that I could make it a maxi. You can make it short, and you can also add puff sleeves if you like, which puff sleeves, I am all about puff sleeves. I decided to just go for the sundress version, which is sleeveless, and I have a lot of thoughts about this pattern. This pattern is an interesting construction in that in order to accommodate the ruffles, the flounces, you have a front piece right here, then you have kind of an extension of the front piece right here, and it's there so that you can attach these flounces. And then you have the side front, which forms the princess seam, and then you have princess seams in the back. So when I made this, I cut a straight size 14, but I did enlarge the waist a little bit because when I looked at this finished waist measurements for a 14, I thought, I don't think that's gonna work. I also took the princess seam and I dropped essentially the apex of the seam down about an inch because that's a standard, adjustment for me. So that all worked great. You can see that this really fits nicely through my bust, but it was too big at the waist. Me and adjusting waistlines, it's like, bleh. Well, what I've done, I've just pinned it, but I think it is a great way to adjust this and pull it in at the waist a little bit, just nip it in. What I've done is I've taken this piece right here and just kind of made a box pleat, just like that. A box pleat, a tuck, something like that. But, it gives it a little bit of interest in the skirt. This is a very swishy, dancy skirt. I love that. I love the fabric, but I did not love sewing this fabric. This pattern calls for crepe, crepe de chine, cottons, and cotton lawns, or cotton blends. This is 100% polyester. It is a woven that came from Joann Fabrics. And this pattern is a huge fabric hog. It takes 6 yards of 45-inch fabric and 4.5 yards, roughly, of 60 wide fabric. So the maxi, that's for the maxi, and the maxi did not have the flounces on it. So if you wanted to add those in, you needed more fabric. So I got 6 yards of 60 wide fabric, and I had nothing left over. I didn't even have enough for the bias binding, which went around the armhole. I just used some lining that I had. It's white, it's fine, it's hidden. Well, my bad. I should have realized, that you really need a fabric that's the same on both sides if you're going to do a flounce, because the wrong side is going to show clearly, and it does. My main problem was putting on this facing, and I think it's just not for a beginner. Certainly not for a beginner. It's not really even for an advanced beginner, because what you're doing is you're trying to get this thing sewn on with these corners, and you're trying to avoid the flounces. And with this woven polyester, it tended to want to pull and stretch a little bit. And so I had a little trouble here and on the curve. And then I also had trouble here. And I ended up having to tear out quite a bit of stitching because I would catch either the flounce or it would, pucker a little bit, or it would roll and, did that. And then understitching the whole thing was complicated. And then I finally finished all that, ended up tearing out a lot and redoing, and then I got it on and I had this happening. And whether or not this is the fault of the pattern or the fault of me not fitting it correctly or what, I'm not sure how you would have fit that correctly. But yeah, no, I'm done. I'm not going to take the zipper out and restitch it. I'm just not going to, because I don't know that there are a whole lot of places I would wear this dress anyway, even though it's so pretty. It really is such, like I say, a dancy dress. I cut the maxi, and it doesn't say anything about it hitting you at ankle length, but I took only the tiniest little bit of a hem, 1/2 inch at most. It was a very narrow hem, so I turned it under about 1/4 inch and then again, and stitched it, and it hits me at my ankles. Now that was a surprise to me, because normally when I make a maxi, it goes to the floor and then I end up hemming it from there. Not so with this, and I cut it just like the pattern said. So yeah, I did run into problems with this. So those are my criticisms and the good points of this dress. I gotta say, if you can get it to fit with these princess seams, and it's very easy to adjust, it fits like a dream. I mean, it really, as soon as I pulled in this little bit here, beautiful, beautiful. I love the fit. I don't love the top of that zipper, and I'm not gonna fix it. There just aren't enough occasions where I would go out and wear this, so not worth it. I may set it aside and then, you know, just go hang it in a closet and then come back to it at a time when I can say, yeah, you know what, that would not be that hard to fix when I'm in a better mood about it. But for right now, no, it's going, it's going somewhere else, and it's not going to get worn. I'm just kind of over it. So those are my thoughts on McCalls 7972. I'd love to hear your thoughts if you've made this dress. Let me know if you ran into problems, or if it was a complete breeze. Let me know what you think. And that's it for now for me. I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.